Hey everybody, Spencer here. Today I am playing Mass Effect 2. If you watched yesterday's video, you could see that I was pretty high-powered. I was actually very close to the end of the game. I was finishing up some of those hated side quests in Mass Effect. And just finished up the last mission and decided to go ahead and tackle Mass Effect 2. And that got me thinking. I have played Mass Effect 3 times all the way through now, as I mentioned yesterday, and I've played part of the way through several other times. This is my second playthrough of Mass Effect 2, and I'm playing these games again and neglecting other games in my collection that I have not played. If you take a look at my Steam games list, you can see that I have a lot of games on there. It's a bit of a joke amongst podcast listeners that Spencer has too many games, and it is true. I have way too many games. Last time I looked, I think I had about 300 titles on Steam. Most of those I did get through sales or promotions. Probably fewer than 10% I purchased at full price, but still, I have a lot of games there, and a lot of them I haven't played. I've purchased with the intention of playing them later and have just never gotten around to them. And honestly, there's a lot of them I never will play, just because there's way too many of them. But given that I have this large collection of games sitting on the sidelines, why am I replaying games instead of playing games that are new to me? And I've been thinking about it. I think part of it is just familiarity. When I'm playing a game that I've played before, I don't have to worry about learning new mechanics. I don't have to worry about hitting the wrong button because I know the buttons pretty well. And I can kind of look over some of the problems with games that I'm very familiar with. With Mass Effect, for example, I mentioned yesterday that I had a lot of issues with the game, a lot of things that do bug me about it. But because I'm aware of them, because I know that they're there, they don't jump out at me and say, look at me, look at me. I can sort of look past them. I can enjoy the rest of the experience without constantly focusing on the negative things. With a new game, there's always, whenever there's a problem, it jumps out at me, and it becomes all that I see. It's not a conscious thing. I don't consciously pick on the problems of a game. It's just that's what I see most of the time. So I think that's part of it. I do think part of it is re-experiencing the story again. I do like the story of the Mass Effect games, although I am getting a little bit tired of saving the universe. That'll be a later show, I'm sure. But I do enjoy experiencing the story in a different way. I'm playing through Mass Effect 2 as a renegade, which is basically playing through as a good guy, except you're kind of a dick about it, that's fun. I like being a dick. So, what games am I avoiding by playing this? Well, most specifically on consoles, I have all 3 consoles, and I have Bayonetta on the 360 that I have barely touched. I have 3D Dot Game Heroes, which is on the PS3. It's sort of a Zelda clone with kind of neat graphics. I've actually played a good bit of that, but I haven't finished it up. I'm really not sure I will. It's a bit trying. I also have a first-person shooter on the PS3 whose name escapes me at the moment. I do not remember what it's called. You're fighting against the Helghast. They're sort of space Nazis. Anyway, it's the second one of those, and I'm not really enjoying it, but I have it, so I'm wanting to play it. Finally, I have The Witcher, and I've had The Witcher for a long time. It's on the PC. I've wanted to play it for a long time. I've owned it since it came out. I've actually bought it 3 times. I bought an American version and the disc didn't work. So then I ended up buying a European version and the disc did work. And then over Christmas it was $5 on Steam, so I picked it up so I would never have to deal with the disc DRM ever again. And the fact remains that I haven't played all the way through it. I've lost save games because of hard drive corruption, stuff like that, and that's always very tough to deal with, having to start over a game. But the new one is coming out soon, and I'd really like to finish it. So maybe that would be the next game I'd play. At any rate, need to wrap it up. I want to know if you guys replay games. Why do you replay games? Why do you avoid replaying games? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow.